He has been all over the MVP conversation. Mr. McLean, is he in your conversation for MVP?
He's in a conversation because the way the 50-man panel votes is that last 2 years they've turned in their top five. Used to be you just turned in one. Right now he's number six in Vegas. He's not going to win the MVP. Hadn't been won by a rookie since Jim
Jim
Brown in
Brown.
'57, but he's going to run away with offensive rookie of the year. And I think D'Amico Ryans, if they win the division, he's got a good chance to win coach of the year. And I wrote a column today. All my columns are on sportsradio610.com where they're free. And I wrote about Nick Casario, ought to be in the discussion for executive of the year, and went over all the moves he's made, starting with hiring Ryans and drafting Stroud. And they got everything going on for him now. I'm doing a column tomorrow. I interviewed Warren Moon here last week
Oh wow.
about Stroud, and then I talked to Stroud today about Moon after practice, and he knows all about Warren. And so everybody loves CJ. He's got a great personality. He's nice, really nice guy. We like talking to him, like BSing with him around the locker room. And when he comes out to talk to us, he doesn't take over the room, but everything that comes out of his mouth is good. It can be entertaining, can be informative. He, he's funny. And we, and I say we, I'm talking about all the media, love dealing with the guy. He's been stunning at how much success he's had. And after that Carolina game where he threw for 140 yards, his season low, I'm like, whoa, boy, is he headed in the wrong direction. And afterward, he told the media, I want to have more explosive plays. Bobby Slowick has made sure he's had more explosive plays that lead the NFL. And it's amazing. Guys like Noah Brown never had one game, 91 yards. Um, and with the Cowboys all those years now. He's had these two monster games the last 2 weeks. Dalton Schultz is playing well. I'm two guys that I can't wait to see more of, and it might be next year. John Mechie III and Xavier Hutchinson. Hutchinson's getting to play on those reverses. He runs those reverses so much better than Tank because he's bigger and he can break tackles. I can't wait till he gets a chance to catch the ball. We all thought going into the season they got to get more receivers. They don't have any good receivers. That's going to be their biggest need next year. And right now, Ben McDaniels, Josh McDaniels' younger brother, is doing a great job coaching those wide receivers. And I'm guessing there's not going to be an agent that's going to let his player take that test unless he's damn sure he's going to score great on it like Brock Purdy did. But Stroud handled it all like he handles everything so well. He never changes. He reminds me so much of Warren Moon. Warren's demeanor. I told Warren last week, I said, I've known you for 40 years. And I said, I look exactly the same. And man, what happened to you? And we're talking about, and the more I talked to Warren, the more I thought about it. And I told him, I said, Stroud, they haven't met. I said, Stroud reminds me of you. He's a cool customer no matter where he is, whether it's chaotic in the pocket, throwing on the run. You don't see emotion from him while he's playing. You see it after they score. And Warren was the same way. The Texans have only had one national media person come to a game, and that was for the Steelers because they were there for JJ and
JJ Watt.
TJ. And now, if they win this game against Arizona and they're playing such a big game against the Jaguars, in which they can take over first place, they're anticipating several national media members. If they get in first place, more and more people are going to pay attention to them. Like every time I look up, I see CJ on some national show online or whether I turn on the TV. And D'Amico's doing a lot, but they got this. They have a certain amount of time they can do that, and it doesn't take away from the preparation. And I love seeing them get it. I'm glad. I'm doing an interview this week with the McNairs. I'm going to do a column next week before the Jacksonville game with them. They should be the happiest owners in the NFL. Everything they've gone through with Deshaun Watson and Jack Easterby and J.J. Watt asking to leave and Bill O'Brien getting fired. One of the things that bothered me, guys, was I saw Texans just getting murdered nationally because they had fired David Culley and Lovie Smith in back-to-back seasons. And as I said on Sports Radio 610, those national people didn't watch the Texans. They didn't watch one game. Why would they? They were terrible. All of us who watched them understood why they were fired. They were poorly
Right.
coached. What Lovie Smith did last year, let Pep Hamilton control everything on offense, who played like Rex bleeping Burkhead. And it was just, it was egregious.
What does CJ have to do to win MVP?
First of all, they're going to have to win the division. They're going to have, because I saw a stat the other day, no player has won MVP without winning his division since Adrian Peterson in 2012, who's also the last non-quarterback to win it. So they're going to have to win the division. They're going to have to get double-digit wins. And the Coach of the Year award always goes to the coach who comes the farthest, and D'Amico's going to be it. And people are talking about the great job Kevin O'Connell's doing in Minnesota, and he is. But they won 13 games last year. Right. And and then everybody's talking about Dan Campbell. He's doing a great job, but they turned that around last season. And so they were already, everybody was picking them to win the division. Just about everybody, and there's a few that I saw as a little different, had Arizona having the first two picks in the next draft and taking Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. because they knew the Cardinals were the worst team and the Texans were the second worst team. And now the Cardinals are one of the worst teams and the Texans are not. So the fact that everybody was preparing for them to be dog-ass awful, that's going to help D'Amico get it. MVP, you got to beat out Mahomes. You got to beat out Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. Team that gets the home field advantage usually is going to win it. But he's going to be in the conversation, and he'll get votes since the 50-man panel. And that 50-man panel has a lot of former players and GMs and coaches on it who are now in the media. It's not just all writers. And since you turned in 5, I think he will definitely get some votes, which would be unbelievable. First time that's happened since JJ had one of his got robbed by Aaron Rodgers winning.
I agree. He has to win the division and get into the playoffs. I understand that the odds are against him, but the odds have been against him for basically his entire life, let alone this season. So I understand that, it hasn't happened, but like I said, we're witnessing what I consider to be almost a miracle year. I mean, I'm not going to get into craziness, but I will say, or conspiracy theories or religious stuff, but God is on his side, man. God is on his side. So I'm not going to say that it's out of the question at all. And I think that he has a shot. I think that we are getting better. And some teams like the Jaguars are actually getting worse. But I will. So that's why I think we can win the division.
This is Crenshaw, Briggs, and VT. We want the touchdown. We not trying to go for 3. And it's best if you get up out the street, cause them bulls out the pen and they about to stampede.